So again, the purpose of this is to give you some actionable advice and preparatory tips so that you get the most out of the event. So again, this webinar is specifically designed to help you gain as much insight and actionable advice as possible so that you have the best experience you can for next Thursday's April 18th virtual job fair. Just a little bit about Corporate Gray. We founded Corporate Gray in 1994 with one mission, and that's to connect those who have served, i.e. military veterans, transitioning service members of all ranks and all branches of service, with companies and government agencies nationwide. There are three components to our services, all of which are free to you, the veteran or the civilian job seeker. First, we host job fairs. So you can see our job fair schedule by going to the website, corporategray.com, and clicking the job fairs link, or you can go specifically to that URL. Our website, Corporate Gray Online, enables you, the job seeker, to upload your resume and search and apply for jobs 24/7. You can find jobs, and I'll be showing you this after we go through the PowerPoint slides, how to use our site to find jobs and apply as appropriate. Our job fair schedule is on the menu bar. We also have a book titled The Military to Civilian Transition Guide. It is available as an ebook. So the 2024 version of the Military to Civilian Transition Guide can be accessed here, corporategray.com/book/transition guide 2024/index.html. So if you copy that link into the chat box, Lisa, job seekers will be able to copy and paste that link into their browser and have access to the book. And that career transition book is basically how to find a job as you leave the service. It's about 100 pages. It's an easy read. And again, the goal of that is to lead you step by step through the military to civilian job search process. As I said, we've been at this now for roughly 28 years. We have lots of experience, and we try to give you as much information as assistance as possible in the form of the job fairs, the website, and the career transition book. So what's the purpose of a virtual job fair? Well, let me say up front that the purpose of that virtual job fair is no different than the purpose of an in-person job fair. It's basically giving you, the job seeker, the opportunity to interact with companies to see if there are opportunities of mutual interest. So I would caution you not to look at this as a final cut in terms of extending employment offers. I view this as a first cut, right? As a first cut. You basically want to favorably impress the companies or the government agencies' recruiters to the extent that they see you as a potential fit and someone that they would want to continue the conversation with. So again, don't view this as, I'm going to get a job on the spot. It may happen, but at the end of the day, it's more the opportunity for you to understand what different employment opportunities are out there across the wide spectrum of companies and government agencies. And it's a chance for those recruiters to identify people that they would want to further have a conversation with after the event. So in either case, I would submit to you that upfront homework is key, right? So by that, I mean, it's really important that you search the jobs database of the participating companies and you apply for positions that are appropriate based on your skills and experience. And after this presentation, after the PowerPoint slides, I'm going to go to a live presentation to show you how that works. What I also think is important is that networking, as we all know, is alive and well. You're going to see on the Corporate Gray Job Fair page that we have a LinkedIn button that will enable you to see who your first, second, and third level connections are at each of the participating employers. So again, the two most important suggestions that I can give you are, number one, search and apply for appropriate positions in advance of the event, and type up why you're a good fit so you can easily copy and paste during the event. Most of the interactions between the recruiters and the job seekers will be in the form of text chats, but let me also say the recruiter has the option to convert from a text chat to a video chat. So you'll also want to make sure that you dress the part, right? Whether or it's an in-person job fair, it's a virtual job fair, these are live interactions. So obviously with a virtual event, you're interacting with that job seeker, you're interacting with the recruiter, as I said, either via a text chat, which is the norm, or in a video chat. After the event's over, the post-event actions are the same at your end. I would encourage you to send a follow-up email to those recruiters in those companies in which you are most interested. Send them an updated copy of your resume, one that better aligns with your skills and experience with their needs, so that you're reinforcing your interest in the company or the government agency. So again, regardless of whether or not it's an in-person event or it's a virtual event, the execution in many ways are identical. Before the job fair, as I said, I think it's super important to research the companies. And on the job fair page, I'm going to show you how you can search the jobs database of all the companies that are participating in the event and how you can see your LinkedIn connections. I will also show you how you can do a search that spans all the company's jobs. And when you enter keywords in that regard, those keywords are going to find matching jobs across all of the participating companies and government agencies. And again, we'll be doing that here momentarily. So again, I think it's important that you apply for jobs of interest. Folks, I see the feedback forms from the companies, and they often say the job seekers have not necessarily searched and applied for positions in advance. So by doing so, by taking the time to really figure it out, understand these companies, these agencies, what they're seeking, and applying for positions that you think are a good fit with your skills and experience, you are demonstrating interest in that particular employer. So again, can't stress that enough. As I mentioned, I'm going to show you how you can leverage your LinkedIn connections at each participating company. It's also important that you gain familiarity with the eCareer Fairs platform and you visit the booth, the lobby, if you will, for the April 18th event. So you want to visit the event lobby for the April 18th event, and then you want to visit each individual booth, and I'll be demonstrating that as well. I think it's also important, in addition to visiting the websites of each of the participating companies, I would also encourage you to use research sites like hoovers.com or manta.com, glassdoor.com, and others to get as much information as you possibly can about the companies and government agencies that will be participating. Again, at the end of the day, those job seekers who are the best prepared, who understand the organizations that they're interested in, can ask more intelligent questions, can leverage their contacts at those organizations, and really can position themselves better for success. So again, can't stress enough the importance of doing everything that I just mentioned. You know, as you look at a job fair, I would submit to you that it should be more of a dialogue than a monologue, right? So it's important that you prepare research-based questions that you want to pose to those recruiters, be it for the companies or the government agencies. Again, some typical questions you might want to ask would be, for example, to whom would I report? What would be my roles and responsibilities? How would I be evaluated? What's a career path look like? So I think the questions you want to ask up front should really be focused on how you would be the best performer for that organization, as opposed to what the benefits of what the fringe benefits of that company or government agency might be. So again, in terms of those research-based questions, ask questions that are appropriate, that give them the confidence that you are someone that they would want to interview subsequently. So again, research the companies, ask intelligent, research-based questions that will put you in a better stead. You also probably need to be prepared to answer the questions that they're going to pose of you. One of the most favorite questions I've seen recruiters ask would be to tell me about yourself. So that's a chance to, you know, very briefly describe what you consider to be your core skills and experience. Again, that tell me about yourself gives you the chance to hit a home run, right? That's a chance for you to articulate in very clear terms who you are in terms of what your skills and experience are and how they can best serve that company or that agency. You're often asked the question, why are you interested in our organization, right? So again, be prepared to answer that type of question. What do you know about our company agency? What do you know about our products and services that we offer? Again, I strongly recommend that for each of these companies, each government agency, that you visit their website, you look at their jobs, and you kind of figure out, where do I think I would be the best fit? Because at the end of the day, what you and the employer are seeking is best fit based on your skills, your experience, your interests, and the like. Some, but not all companies may ask if you have a security clearance. This is not a security clearance only job fair. There are numerous opportunities being presented by these organizations that do not require a security clearance. However, given that this is a defense-oriented type event, you can reasonably suspect that many of those companies will be looking for a clearance for many of their positions. But again, it's not a security clearance only job fair. Many people are looking today for remote opportunities. Nothing wrong with that. I think you may limit your opportunities when you say, I'm only looking for remote. So the more flexibility that you can convey, the better. Ideally, they're looking for people in some instances who can relocate for the right opportunity. So you pay me $1 million and frankly, I'll relocate wherever that job might be. So all I'm suggesting there is be honest, be direct, but don't fence in yourself too much by saying, I will only work remote. What I'm seeing by and large is most of the employers are going more toward a hybrid schedule where it might be, let's say, 3 or 4 days a week in the office and 1 or 2 days remote. They may ask you what your salary requirements are. So if you're posed with that salary question, my strong recommendation is to not answer it directly. Got to say at this point, you need to know more about the roles that you would be in, how your performance would be measured. Typically, you want to push that back on the employer. You may ask, this is the type of position that I'm interested in. I'm interested in a software developer position in Washington, D.C. Can you give me a feel as to what the range might be? And then I can tell you if my salary requirements fit within it. So again, try to defer questions about salary till later in the evaluation process. A question you may be asked is, when are you available to start work? So if you're still on active duty, you want to tell them what your availability date is. So what's the soonest that you could start work, or if you're available now, tell them that obviously you're ready to start now. So during the event, some suggestions. Number one, if I were in your shoes, I would visit all the booths of interest. We're going to have approximately 20 companies and government agencies participating in this event. The list of those organizations are both on Corporate Grant Line as well as on ecareerfairs.com. Typically, you want to enter a recruiter conversation. You're going to see when you're on the eCareerFairs site, you can either go in and engage with a recruiter one-on-one, or you can ask general questions. Those general questions are meant to be truly general in nature. So on average, you want to get into the conversation queues of a recruiter in each organization in which you are interested. The software will know, keeps track of which booth you're in, waiting to interview with that prospective employer or that recruiter. So again, make sure that you are in as many conversation queues in each company booth as it makes sense. Again, software will keep track of your status. During the interactions with recruiters, I think it's appropriate to ask them for their email address so that you can follow up, and also nothing wrong with asking about next steps. So keep those interactions with recruiters positive, ask probing, intelligent-based questions, convey interest, and try to make the connection between the requirements of the position and your skills and experience. As I said, at the end of that conversation, typically these dialogues go for 10 minutes. However, the company recruiters have the opportunity to extend, but on average, interactions are no more than 10 minutes. It's a chance, frankly, for those recruiters to meet you and to assess whether or not they view your skills and experience as a possible fit for their organizations so that they can follow up after the event is over but I encourage you to be proactive. Again, ask for their email address and let them know if you're interested so that they will hopefully take a more active interest in you. During your interactions with those company recruiters, you should be taking notes on your conversations so that you remember what you said to whom and you can follow up appropriately. So also during this, remember I had encouraged you to search and apply for positions in advance and then write those positions up on a Word document, for example, or a notepad, so that when you're interacting with that company recruiters, you can easily copy and paste as opposed to doing typing on the keyboard during the event. As I said earlier, when it comes time, if you're asked about salary, tactfully defer, try to not pin yourself down at this point, try to turn that dialogue back to them, ask them for a range for that position, and let them know if you'd be interested. I already mentioned sites like Glassdoor, but other sites that have salary information would include salary.com, payscale.com, and others. So I think it's appropriate that you figure it out, understand what those companies typically are paying for someone with your skills and experience. But again, try not to bring up this question of salary, how much the position pays during the job fair. I also think it's important that you try to get as much information from fellow veterans and other people that you know who are working at those participating organizations, and I will show you how you can do that through our website. After the event is over, I encourage you to follow up with the key recruiters with whom you're most interested via email. That follow-up email should have at least these key points. Number one, remind them where you met. Hey, I met you at the virtual military-friendly job fair on April 18th. We talked about position XYZ. I want to remind you how my skills and experience meet the 3 most critical needs for that position. I'm interested in your opportunity, and thank you very much for giving me the chance to present my skills and experience and for considering me for that opportunity. If you learned something during your interaction during the job fair more about that position, then what I recommend is that you update your resume and tailor it to that particular position so that when you follow up with this recruiter in whom you have interest in your organization, you're providing them with an updated resume that better aligns your skills and experience with their opening. I also make sure that I keep my references apprised of my progress with companies that I'm dialoguing with. So again, make sure that you're letting your references know, hey, I think that ABC company is interested, and you may be hearing from them. I also suggest contacting your LinkedIn contacts at these organizations. They can give you information oftentimes that you want to ask the recruiters directly, right? So again, make sure you're leveraging those relationships. Our next virtual military-friendly job fair is going to be held on Thursday, April 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sometime this term military-friendly, let me say up front that means these events are especially for transitioning service members and veterans, but are open to anyone in the military community. Anyone who has worked in any way, shape, or form in support of the government and DoD or any of the government agencies, you are strongly encouraged to participate in the event. If you have not yet registered for the April 18th event, I am showing you the URL, the web address that you want to go to. Lisa, if you will, please put that in the chat so that these job seekers who are not yet registered for the April 18th event can go to that link. If you have already registered for this event, you just go to www.ecareerfairs.com and obviously select the April 18th event. Once you've logged in, you're on the event lobby. You want to visit all the booths, get as much information as you can within those organizations. They're going to show you, for example, if you click the profile, you're going to see who the participating recruiters are. You can also see any documents that they have uploaded to their booth. You can also see hot jobs that they have posted, as well as a link to their job board. So there is a benefit, there's value to you in logging into eCareerFairs today, tomorrow, before the event to better understand the companies, government agencies that are participating so that you can visit their respective job boards, you can view their hot job listings, and you can see the names of the recruiters that will be staffing their booth. You will also be receiving a step-by-step virtual job fair guide in an employer directory. If you may already have received that from me, but if not, you'll be receiving that again on Monday. So again, our goal is to help position you for job search success. We want to make sure that you have as much information as you possibly can to understand A, how to work the virtual job fair, and B, how to gain access to these companies, these government agencies, understand their needs, and have a plan as to how you're going to present your skills and experience in a manner that's going to resonate with those employers. Again, folks, ultimately, it's your responsibility to present yourself in the best possible light. And by doing that upfront homework that I've described, that's going to position you for success. I'm going to show you here shortly the job fair page on Corporate Gray. There are 3 columns. When you click on the company name, it's going to open up their company profile as described by that company or that agency. If you click on the number of posted jobs, it's going to run a job search for that organization. And if you click on the LinkedIn network button, it's going to run a people search for you so that you see who your LinkedIn contacts are at that company. Of course, that assumes that you have a LinkedIn profile. So make sure you have a LinkedIn account prior to doing this so that you can see who your LinkedIn contacts are at the first, second, and third levels at each respective company or government agency. Again, can't stress enough the importance of ferreting out as much information as you can from people that you know who are working for those companies or who had worked for those companies. Again, leverage those relationships to the nth degree. So in summary, again, I think you should approach a virtual job fair in the same manner as you would an in-person event, right? Search the companies in advance, research the companies, know as much as you can about them, contact people who are working for those organizations that you know in advance to get as much information, insights into those organizations as possible. Research who the attending employers are. Again, that's the LinkedIn contact. Reach out to those people, gain their insights. Search and apply for positions in advance. I know I've said it more than once, but again, I want to stress to you that ultimately is what the recruiters are looking for. They're looking for people who've demonstrated interest. You're making that recruiter's job easier when you say, hey, John Doe, Jane Doe is interested in this position, and they've already applied, and your time, the time you're going to spend interacting with them is going to help them better understand why you would be a good fit for those organizations, right? So again, make sure that you're typing up why you think you're a good fit so you can reinforce that during the job fair. As I said earlier, you want to get in multiple conversation queues with different recruiters across those organizations. Make sure you follow up with those recruiters in those companies in whom you have the most interest. And at the end of the day, stay positive, right? Stay positive. I'm here to tell you the job market's hot. World's your oyster. Go get it. In terms of any questions you may have, please put those in the chat. At this point, I want to go to the website and show you just a couple things. So I'm on Corporate Gray Online. Again, there are two websites involved here. So I'm logged in as a job seeker. If I click on the Find Jobs link, I'm going to say, for example, I'm looking for logistics type. Say, for example, I'm looking for logistics type positions. Make sure that you click this box, search by companies attending next job fair. Then you can select one or more states. So I'm in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I'm going to select Virginia. I'm going to do a search. And it's going to show, okay, there are 18 jobs in Virginia represented by all the companies that have the word logistics in them. You can see who SEIC has logistics jobs. Lockheed Martin has, right? So you can click the view link. And if you're logged in, you can apply for those positions. Typically, about 99% of the time, you're viewing the job on Corporate Gray Online, but you're actually applying for the position, in this case, either over at SEIC's website or on Lockheed Martin's website. So again, those applications, those job applications, you're viewing the opportunity, view it as a window, if you will, on Corporate Gray Online, but the actual applications are going to be on respective company's website. So again, once you're on Corporate Gray, click the Find Jobs link. Our job fair schedule is shown here. We have a transition guide. If you want to download a free version of our 2024 corporate grade ebook, simply click this link. Click here. I've asked Lisa to put that in the chat. Educational opportunities, franchise opportunities, the blog, etc. So on eCareer Fairs, now this is in the lobby of the April 18th eCareer Fair. So I've already logged in. I logged in using my job seeker account. You can see these are the, I believe, 20 companies and government agencies that will be participating in the event, right? So again, come all the way down, view every company. For example, if you're interested in NSA, click the preview button and you can see who the recruiters are. Okay, I know that Felicia Cogwell, Rhonda Golden, and Dee Ordinero are the 3 recruiters who are going to be representing Sierra 7. Once you log in the day of the event, you want to enter the conversation queue for one of these 3 recruiters. Please only enter a conversation queue of 1 recruiter per company. So again, once you're logged into the website, into the eCareer Fairs website, click on enter conversation queue, get in line to interact with that recruiter. If you have general questions, and please only use the general questions if they're general in nature, is that you would type in your general question here, right? And the recruiters would then have an opportunity to respond to your question. This is what you're going to see if you register for more than one. Come back into the organization, come back in. If you click on documents, so for example, Lockheed Martin has a documents link. So if you click that documents link, it's going to enable you to share your resume, in this case, directly with Lockheed Martin. So look for these document links as well. If you click on the jobs icon, it's going to take you to, in this case, the Lockheed Martin's job board. If a company has posted individual jobs, you're going to see those individual jobs listed. If you're seeing Sierra 7 jobs, that's their job board. But if individual jobs have been posted, that's telling you they posted some individual jobs, some hot jobs. So again, I would encourage you for each of these participating companies, visit their booth, look at who the recruiters are, visit their job boards, and upload in any documents, do those documents as well. So folks, that pretty much ends what I wanted to show you. Again, the event itself is going to be on eCareer Fairs. It's going to start at 11 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday, April 18th. Between now and then, I encourage you to view each booth. Look for people that you know, as I showed you on the Corporate Grand Line website, right? So do your networking over here. Back on our site, back on Corporate Gray. You attending employers, you're on the job fair page. So here you can research, you can see what the company says about themselves. You can click on the number of posted jobs, do a search on that organization, and you can see who you're connected to. On eCareer Fairs, where the event's going to be held, come in, gain familiarity with the platform, and as I said, look at who's going to be participating as a recruiter, get the link to their job board, and view any jobs. So at this point, I'm going to close this presentation. I thank you for listening to me. Wish you all the best in your job search. If you have not yet entered your questions, please enter that in the chat box. So I'm going to respond to this question that has been posted here. Let me see. The event will be okay. Yeah, it's okay for current federal employees with no military experience. The answer is yes. Any job seekers, ideally we're looking for job seekers who have some connection with the military or the government. So the answer to that, confirmed, yes, you are welcome and encouraged to attend. Part of the event, when you're applying to open positions, is the best practice to tailor your resume. Yes, I always recommend tailoring your resume. And, well, I'm sorry, let me answer it this way. When you create your account on eCareer Fairs, you are asked to upload a resume, a single resume. So that single resume should be somewhat generic based on what you're looking to do. However, after the event's over and you're going to send a follow-up email, that's the resume you want to tailor. So to my knowledge, eCareer Fairs, when you register, is only giving you the opportunity to upload one resume. So that's a little bit more of a generic resume. But again, as I said, after the event's over and you're following up with individual companies or agencies, yes, absolutely send them a more tailored resume that better aligns your skills and experience with their openings. Please put any additional information in the chat. I'm happy to talk. Again, this is your chance to get as much information you possibly can. I want this, my team wants this to work for you. So please put in whatever you want here in that chat. Is open to those with less than a year in the military of experience in civilian job? Yes, absolutely. Right. Hey, folks, we're not going to close anyone out. At the end of the day, we're especially looking for people with military experience. But having said that, civilian job seekers whose skills and experience align with the needs of these participating companies and government agencies, they will be duly vetted, and those organizations will appreciate knowing about your skills and experience. So again, while this is a military-focused event, civilian job seekers whose skills and experience align with the needs of some of these participating organizations, you are more than welcome to participate. Please, other questions? Why don't we close here? If you have any questions down the road, my email address is carl@corporategray.com. Feel free to email me any subsequent questions you might think of later. And again, thank you very much for participating in our event. I hope all goes well for you on the 18th, but please don't wait until the 18th to participate, to engage as I just described, okay? Everyone, hope you have a great weekend. Thanks again for participating in this webinar. Take care.